Hi guys, it's a lovely Sunday afternoon and I thought I'd do a little bit of my kantha stitching with you. I'm working on this little bowl and I'm up to the end of it, which is a bit funny because I haven't showed you much of the rest of the process, but I started this while working in the shop on Friday and I thought I'll do the whole thing, I think, on my own first, and then if it works out, this could be another fun little workshop to do. I've got cats running around outside here again as usual. They're about to start a fight. But and I've got this lovely cotton thread here. I don't know if you can see, embroidery thread, and I'm slowly working on it. So I'll show you quickly what I'm doing here. This is the stitching that I'm starting to play with. And of course, it's a mix of vintage fabrics, little scraps. So this is the good thing about using all these scraps. You can fill a bowl. And this is the back. And these bowls you can throw in the wash when they get a bit dirty. You can turn them inside out if you prefer it another way. And they're quite handy. So, even if you're working on your little sewing project, you can throw all your bits and pieces in. And, we've got here some little embroidery scissors. And it will be a little bit tidier for that moment. My place at the moment is a mess. I've done a little bit of cleaning up today and I need to do more, but this is what I feel like doing today. It's threatening to rain on and off here and it's not doing much of anything. So I've given up. I was going to go outside. It became overcast. I came back in. I went back out, all of that. Got my dry gardening hands here as well. Anyway, I thought we could just hang out for a moment and stitch, and then I'll get back onto it and you can enjoy the rest of your Sunday too. And I think I've got a pretty good angle here. There is a bit of a shadow here, even though it's a bright day. Oh, look, straight away. Here we go. It is a bright day here, but I've always picked the wrong spot, I think. And it's hard to get the angle right because later I'll think, let's put this on TikTok or YouTube or wherever. And I'll realise it's, not set up the right way because YouTube likes landscape. I don't have a separate camera to my phone, so I can't sort of shoot at the same time and do two different versions. So anyway, YouTube gets what it gets. So what I'm doing here is originally I thought I would do in this bowl a continuous kantha stitch. And then no, look what's happened. I'm just doing kind of everything. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. The shape of the bowl, when I built this bowl, which is another video, I'll do another one now that I sort of feel like I've perfected this. Inside here, I felt like a lot of the bowls I was watching others make was still a bit spindly. And this is a bit of old quilt. You can see the inner workings there, which I don't mind. I can't leave. You could run something on top of that and cover it. I then cut another round shape so this is like a double padded area in there, whereas this is single padded. And it does give it a little bit more structure. So I'm happy with that. But what I sort of was thinking is, do you run the stitch right around here to kind of keep this bottom section separate or stable? That kind of, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know. I think it's fine. And then what I liked was the shape of the bowl. It's not perfectly straight and should be treated, I think, just doing whatever it wants to do. So, and I make the mistake every time I cut this ultra long. Look, I've got this string everywhere, string embroidery thread, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just going with it, going with the flow. So I've got a little bit of a gap here, if you can see. We'll go and fill that. In the meantime, what I am working on is this canvas bag, if you've been following. It's a recycled Vinnie's canvas tote, the sort that you pay for on checkout. And I'm having a lot of fun with that. I'll pull that over in a minute. I just don't want to knock this camera like I normally do. But I made this bowl sitting in the shop the other day. It was very quiet, and I started to build the bowl and shape it. There's a bit of a trick to getting it this shape from an old quilt. And I'm happy. So I have done one design, which I showed earlier, which was basically cutting a round shape and building the sides. And this is about building it from one piece and doubling it up and re-sewing. I think that's a winner. So here I've backed myself into a corner here, but what does it matter? It doesn't matter, does it? Let's do, I don't know, we can be completely random if we want. I mean, you could do whatever you want. Here's me. Oh, don't you dare. Sometimes I fight with these knots and sometimes I just cut and start again. Oh, look at that. Oh, I have luck today. I hope your Sunday's going well. I've been a bit quiet. I went to a party last night. I haven't been to a party in, doesn't feel like years. I don't feel like any of us do many parties anymore, do we? And so now I'm doing is crosses just to get out of that. I think I'll go this way next. And Friday night, I went and saw some live music. So that's pretty wild for me. Had the shop open Friday. I went up for a little while with Kevin yesterday. It was extremely quiet, and online is quiet. And today I probably need to, I'd better do it. I usually do a newsletter on the weekend, and I haven't done that. So I'll definitely get something out today. I don't know what I'll say. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll just get something out. So I've started that line here, and I'm almost tempted to do, let's do that. Let's move towards the middle. The beauty of these slow stitch projects is you can stop and dump it and come back to it later, pick up another project, start again. I love this, you can play with this fabric and move it all around. What have I done here? I need to go this way. It doesn't matter about perfection. You just do what you got to do. I'm going crazy at the moment with planting snapdragons, violas, pansies, violets. Of course, I get the violas, pansies, violets all mixed up. I think violas are tiny violets and pansies, and I'm just in love with them. I've got them sort of going everywhere, and I picked up one of those massive trays that you can sort of mass plant. I think it was $20, and I was umming and ahhing, and is that extravagant right now? But the flowers give me such joy. So I've been putting them in pots everywhere. See, I don't even like what I've been doing there. I'll do it this way. Oh, it's very chunky here, so it's not very happy. And in the mountains, normally we get quite a bit of rain, even in summer. It does dry it as well, but we do have lovely rain as well, so you don't always have to water, but at the moment it's dry. So that's how it sits. If you've just joined us, hello everyone. And what it's doing is kind of pulling all this sort of wadding and batting together. So that's what it looks like without it. I've just kind of basted it all together. And this just kind of gives it a nice finish. And this is one of the ones I really want to do as a workshop, I've decided. This is lovely. I think I had more people ask about the workshops on the weekend in the shop. It's definitely something that's going to be a bit of fun. And I have collected more and more fabrics and things. I'm thinking about what would be the best way to do it. Do you arrive and you get your own little set of, embroidery scissors and your own little needle? Like this is I can't think if this one's gold or silver. The gold ones are the Sashiko needles I've picked up. I like those. And let's go all the way to the end here. Let's go to the end. A lot of fabric. I've also been thinking, what if I did some of these patterns or ideas, rather than watching these videos, I could even do them as PDF patterns that you can do step by step at, in your own time. Look at that. Luckily it didn't go through. Probably need to have a little first aid kit too, hey? These workshops when you're slow stitching. But yeah, my head's full of it all, and I do want to do, as well as the actual workshop ideas, do the idea of a community day, and it wouldn't be heavy duty sewing. It would be maybe a chance for people to bring their projects to share with each other. Maybe we all bring a plate to share. I don't know what else. What do you got ideas? But, just connection. And I still have to share this fabulous ABC article. And then I say fabulous, but it was a bit kind of depressing. But about how so many people are feeling disconnected and disjointed and lonely. And I was thinking about that. How do we create community? And I think it's getting together, and I think it's going back to our hand skills. We've got this world of stupid AI. I'm so against AI. I'm a graphic designer by trade, for those that don't know, and that bloody AI is killing our industry. And I'm also against things like Canva. I know a lot of people use that for their own social media, but and there's so many positives about a lot of that stuff. But as a designer, we've lost a lot of our business because people have accessibility to, templated styles of using things. So they no longer so much see the value in a graphic designer who's formally trained in typography and layout and design and colour. So much so I wouldn't even recommend to my kids to follow in my footsteps. That's where I'm at. So I do think there'll be a turnaround and people will appreciate the skills once more of typography, like graphic design, industrial design, product design, interior design, things that people are formally trained in the old days. You can still be trained in them now. But it's just a sad old world right now. And I think, what can we do? I think we should hang out. I think we should reconnect as community and get all that going again. So, in the very, very old days, I'll be sexist here and say, well, I'm not being sexist, it was how it is. Groups of women would sit and men together, so catch up. Even there's a scene in Gone with the Wind where the women are waiting for the men to return. I can't think if anyone else here is a big Gone with the Wind fan. Ashley Wilkes is hurt in the Civil War. I think they go off to, I can't remember what they were doing. They go off to fight or to go and defend someone, and the women are sitting up in the middle of the night waiting for the men to come back. Look at this, look what I've done here. And let's see if I can get that through. I don't think I will. And they sit together and they problem solve and they come up with the solution to everything. And I kind of like that. I feel like we don't, look at that, just broke. We don't have that so much anymore. Right, look at that. So we've got a bit of string left. I could re-thread it, but it's been tangled all here. I wonder if I'm getting in and out of the frame or not. I don't know if I am. Sorry, I'm so busy talking. I'm going to re-thread that. I'm looking at my gardening hands too, sorry guys. I look at some of these YouTubers with their beautiful hands. It's never going to happen. I'm still pulling up weeds and I'm planting violas and violets and everything. And sometimes I forget to put my gardening gloves on. I don't know why. It's like a tactile thing, I think. I feel like you can feel and see what you're doing a bit more when you... I'm just looking at that little bit of fabric poking up there, wondering if I should drag that in a bit. That's a bit better. Now we're at the end of this thread. How's your Sunday going? I don't know if you can hear the bird outside. There's some bird going past. I can hear a wonga pigeon in the distance somewhere. And the rain starting and stopping. So it's sunny again here in Mount Victoria in the Blue Mountains. And usually Sunday afternoon is where we start to hear the traffic ramp up, with people coming from the Central West going back to Sydney. And sometimes you hear the sirens where people are trying to move quickly on the path, trying to get back to Sydney, and car accidents and things like that. Sorry, I'm just threading this. Someone said to me, though, I did one of these live things and I took forever, and I can't think who it was, and said, I watched the whole thing. I said, really? I wouldn't. It's too long. She said, no, it was actually really relaxing. I've got a really good dress pattern too that I have to have the headspace to do it. I'm looking at here at little threads. Right. Where are we up to next? I reckon the other thing I was thinking about this, you could make, if this is much bigger, the idea of a big hat. I wonder if that's a good idea or not. Let's keep going this way. Maybe we'll go across this way. So, that's the other thing too. I was debating whether to push the thread through the whole way, like here. And then I decided I'm actually going to do this kantha stitching on both sides so I can concentrate on these patterns. This is a section here I can see I've missed. I'll come back to that. So, yeah, and I'll hide. See under here, there's a little lip there. I'm going to hide the tail under that. So what I do is let that, this is me just being lazy. See how it just falls under there? That'll do. I've been watching YouTube videos this morning too on fabrics again in Tokyo. I am going in January. I keep skiting about it, I know. I'm just so excited. And I plan on going to the fabric district in Tokyo, which is Napori. There's some really good fabric shops there. And I'm thinking I would like to do some Instagram reels or live video over there, which I went to Japan in 2023 and did, just took photos and videos during the day and then made reels at night and shared them on social media. And they did really well. People really enjoyed them. They asked me lots of questions, and I thought, well, maybe this time I should do a bit more. Make a bit more of it. So some people, I should be loading up my stitches here. I made it. So see, this is an ultra long needle. It's just that I've got to get through quite a few bits of fabric, but really you should go like this and loading up 3 in 1, but then, so some people do it that way, but then I stab my fingers and hurt myself. But see how the stitches are quite nice too when you do that, they're a bit straighter. I don't know if you can see that. So I think we'll go down. Actually, I want to put the stitch that way. I'm keen to hear too if people stitch, or do they, I don't know, restore cars? Do you garden? Do you volunteer somewhere? Is Sunday a great day for cooking? I'm not much of a cook, and I hate the mess afterwards, and I hate the fact that if the food didn't turn out that great and I spent all that time cooking, I just get really annoyed. So I'm not a confident cook. But I could see it as lovely, slow mindfulness. Sorry, I'm drifting over there. See what I mean? Like there's quite a few layers in some of it. And the inner workings of the bowl mean that there's some thick sections and some thin sections. And because of that, sometimes it's hard to push through. So this thumb, I don't know if you can see, look at that, the state of it compared to that thumb. This is my sewing hand. This is now rock solid at the moment. Sorry, it's a bit gross, my horrible hands. But it's got a pretty chunky callus happening there, and so much so that look. I don't know if you can see the shape. It's gotten a bit like weird, but it's it's becoming more usable for sewing, for slow stitching. So that's kind of cute too. That shape. I don't know if you can see it. I've just got one kid returning home. I'm just doing a live reel. Yeah. You want to go out? It's live. Yeah. Just. Yeah. I could do that in a minute. Have a look at my wallet. If there's anything. That's one kid asking very quietly for some money, which I probably don't have any cash. We can transfer soon if you want. I'm almost finished. Oops. My youngest is building a cubby house with a friend. So this morning was chopping up some vintage sheets to make a curtain for the cubby house, and using old bits of ribbon, things like that. And I love that kind of creativity and not worrying about how perfect it is, and just building and having fun together. So I don't know if you can see how that looks. I don't know if it makes sense, but when you like this, it's almost sort of less structured, whereas you go here, it kind of holds its shape. And doing this blanket stitch on top also helps this was a bit kind of wobbly before, and now it holds its shape. I think this year, sorry friends and family, but I think this year this is what I'm going to do as gifts for people. That could be a bit of fun. And I was thinking about doing some boxy kind of square ones in denim for the fellas. Various denims or colours, or even vintage flannelette shirts. I don't know if you can hear the wind here. It's really picking up. So we've got burn-offs happening around us. I don't know about today, but yesterday, very, very smoky. Which I'm very thankful to have the burn-offs, because we've had a couple of bushfires here. And we need the burn-offs. And actually I can smell smoke now, so it must be the burn-off. So actually, now I look at that, I would quite like that to run the whole way around the rim, but I do like the randomness too. What do you think? What do you prefer? If anyone's there. What should we do now? Should we go down? Should we go this way? Xanthi, just take your money and then we'll talk later. Okay. We're going to the cafe? Oh, let's go. Okay. All right. So that's me transfer money, which I'll need my phone to do, so I'll jump off at some point. And see things that are lifting. When you do all this, it stitches it down. You can hear there's animals everywhere in our house. So there's one dog that's anxious because the younger child's left. Then a cat runs across the floor. Then they start fighting. Then I don't know if you can see that. That's where I've stitched. That's part of the reshaping the bowl. That's the stuff underneath. So forgiving. Slow stitching is the best. It's so forgiving. You don't have to be a whiz to do this. Anybody can do this. And when I run workshops, I really hope that you can come along and hang out. I've made a lot of space in my shop. I'm going to make more. And Oh, look at me, I'm drifting again, sorry. Look at this here too. Look, I do have, what do you call it? What are they called? To protect your fingers. I've gotten lost there. But, yeah, again, it's the same as doing my gardening. I'm tactile and I don't feel like I can feel what's going on. I don't like that sensation. I like it to be fingers in the nutty. So look, this is what we should be doing. It's pretty chunky, that's the problem. I love that sound. Just running through, the thread running through the cotton. I don't know if you can hear it. All right, we'll go across there. Oh, sorry. I have had 4 coffees today. Probably not so good for an ADHD person. I know I've come back. See that little bit of fabric lifting there? So even though I've gone through, I've decided to run that through again to kind of hold it down a bit. See, like that. Yeah, I haven't had much else. I've just made we've got our own chooks. They're going off in the background. You probably can't hear them. Boiled eggs and stuff, and coffee. And I don't want to do much else today. We ate so much food last night. We went to our friend Karen and Phil's place for a barbecue. They had friends over from Illinois. And luckily they're on the right side of the fence politically. Have you had enough yet? So, how's it looking? All vintage scraps. And that feels quite nice. Compared to this see how it sort of puffs out everywhere? It's all like that. And then you come around here and it's a little bit more together. These are just so handy. You can have them all different sizes. This needs to be done. And they can hold your keys. They can be next to your bed with all your bits and pieces. Buttons and cute little bits and pieces for gifts. And then when they get dusty, because people say, oh, I hate all the dust, and they're just dust collectors. Well, when they're dusty, guess what? You can wash them. Then also, if you're really sick of them, you can pull them apart or cut them and use them on other projects. So, oh, there we go. That wasn't going to go through. See how that it doesn't look so good there. All right. I'll go across here. I think we'll finish this little section, then I'll call it off. And I should really be doing a horizontal video for YouTube. I've got I think 23 subscribers or something. And I've got, I don't know how many on TikTok, 300 or something. But I'm trying to get out of, that's the wrong thing. I'm trying to expand outside of Instagram and Facebook and, start to load up some videos of what I'm actually up to. I'm going to show a little bit more of the shop, and I'm going to maybe do a bit more of my process on bits and pieces. I'm not sure. I love watching some of the YouTube videos of other makers. I watched a great one this morning on another small business. She talked how much money she took in the shop that day, how much she took online, some of her costs. So I think as a small business, that's really interesting. I don't know for consumers if that's interesting, but all of us that are in small business, definitely it's interesting to see how another business runs. And I've ordered some more t-shirts, the Fight Fascism ones that I've designed, which is create beautiful things, read banned books, plant a garden, and fight fascism. They've been really popular. Oh, see, that's pulling out there. I don't like that. We'll go under, get a big chunk of it there. When people say to me, I can't sew, yeah, you can do this. It's a straight line. It's straight stitching. It's repetitive. You go into a bit of a pattern with your breathing. Anyone can do this. And look how badly I'm doing it. It's the journey. It's not the finish. It's the journey. It's the process. So when I was first putting all these colours together, I didn't love it. I thought, it's bits and pieces of everything that I've got. And I stuck this little embroidered bit there. You can see here from the back, like when it's like that, you think, oh, I don't know if it's working. I don't know if I love that. And the more you work on it and get it kind of finished, you think, oh, the colours have really come together and it's, I don't know, clever. I'll see if I can find, just while you're online, I'll see if I can find my bag I'm doing, and then I'll leave you to it. So this is got stuff everywhere. All right, we'll do this and then we'll finish up. So this is the canvas bag I'm working on. So you see the straps here. It's a Vinnie's canvas bag, as in you check out and you forget your bags and then they hand you this. So I don't know if I can show you the whole thing, but that's it's kind of biggish. It's a bit cheeky. See this sort of velvet, twisted velvet I've done here. I've used doilies over the embroidery here. I've still got to work on the flowers. This fabric I love. I was talking about violets and things. I've kept the original label there. And just building. I don't know if I've got the original remnant fabric to show you. Oh, here. So there's this. I love this fabric. Look at that. The leaves. I like it on its own, but this was kind of a boring bit. There's another bird, and this was off a pillowcase. And love all the selvage. Little egg guy. So this was a lovely scrap of fabric here. And then on the back, I'm just deciding. So this is the blanket that I had underneath, the mohair blanket. And this is a piece I did on the cruise ship I was on a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of months ago. I can't remember how long ago it was. And I think it would fit. That's why just doing panels sometimes is really good. And then I thought I might join this bit of mohair blanket and continue. But then I don't know, I think the depth, this is thicker. So I might get another piece of this, where is it? Just here. Sorry about my squeaky chair. This quilt, cotton quilt, really probably something like that should go there. So it'll be a similar depth, like many here. So that's that. I don't know how many hours this has been so far. These do take a long time, but they're quite handy. And I think at the top, what we'll do here is a button and a way of closing it. It's kind of a good size too for my computer. And then I think these straps should be covered in fabrics and bits and bobs. So that's my next step is, getting fabrics and wrapping or, I don't know. You could paint it as well. And then on the sides, probably just a bit of something like that. I'll just keep going on that too. You could actually do this. This is the bottom of the bag. Make this deeper and leave the top open. You can put in your water bottle in the side of the bag. And then inside, I think I'll do some lining and I'll do a big deep pocket. So grabbing another piece of this and sewing it in. You could either sew it directly to, I'll put lining in first. Although you could Oh no, I think because you see all these bits and pieces, you could have your bag pocket here, and it's kind of handy with keys and things. So that's what I'm up to. So that's what we just worked on today, guys. I'll keep going. This is cute, isn't it? So these, I don't know if I've got the original pillowcases handy. Very daggy, modern. I think I've got the ribbons here of it. No, I don't. Like a modern, fairly modern, probably 10, 15 years old pillowcases, like those quilted pillowcases with sort of shabby, this is a bit of it here. I think this was, maybe not. Maybe those were. But then this in sections as well with ribbons. And the pillowcase, look, you pick up something like a pillowcase for $2 and then you've got all this gold you can play with. So, yeah, whatever we decide to do with that. I don't know where that'll fit. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me today, and I hope you have a great Sunday. See ya.